biggest mistake that creative artists make. And I'm going to tell you that right here, right now. Sorry, there's a cop. Did I escape him? Oh, I'm being followed. I think this goes for every artist, and this goes for people in general. Look you in the eyes. No, look you in the eyes. Biggest mistake as an artist you can make is to create what you want to create. And that's a big no-no. I'm going to put it bluntly. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about what you enjoy and what you want to make. So I don't care if you're a rapper or a country singer or R&B singer or a blues singer or a sketch artist or a multimedia artist or a video creator or storyteller or whatever. Most people do not care. And the reason is because most people, pretty much everybody, are and is, I don't know if I said that grammatically correct. That doesn't even matter because grammatical correctness doesn't matter. Almost everybody is too preoccupied with themselves, loving themselves, caring about the things that they care about, to care about you. So this even goes down to the psychology of making friends and having friends and retaining friends. Think about this logically. Deep down inside, we do everything we can to be accepted and loved and wanted. We want to fit in. Why? Well, it validates who we are. When people accept us and love us and respect us or like us, enjoy our company, it validates us as a person. So that is what everybody's out there seeking, is self-validation. When they make friends with you, it's not because you're the coolest guy they know or they just love everything you say and do. It's because it validates who they are. It makes them feel important. There's a little psychological tip about when you're meeting people or talking to people or anything, or maybe even going on a date or whatever. Make it all about them, because that's what they want to hear. Everybody's favorite topic is themselves. And I'm no exception to the rule. I don't think anybody's an exception to the rule unless you consciously make that effort to not be all about yourself. Now you're talking like self-sacrifice, and most people don't do that. There are some people that do, but they're aware of it and they sacrifice themselves and their own interest for the sake of somebody else because they're putting that other person before them. But the majority of people do not do that. And I'm sorry, even these famous people that are all over TV or the internet, people don't really love them either. Okay, they're used and spit up and left high and dry. A lot of them, they're on top of the world one minute and everybody forgets about them, or nobody likes them, or somebody paints them in a bad light and now they're an outcast or whatever. Nobody cares really about them. And even these fans that love musical artists, that chase them around and follow them to concerts, profess their dedication to these artists, and it's because they're getting something out of it. It's because the fan is really loving themselves and they're living vicariously through that artist. I can't explain the psychology behind all of that, but the reality is they don't love that artist, okay? Everybody that cried when Prince died and Michael Jackson died and everybody else who died, David Bowie recently, and just all the people that die and everybody cries about it. It's not because they really loved that person. They didn't know that person. They've never had a conversation with that person. They don't know that person. They don't know that person. They didn't love that person. They didn't care about that person at all. So they want to pretend and cry like they cared about that person. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Biggest mistake creators make is that they make stuff that's for themselves. They do what they want to do. And apparently you can't do that in this world because you're excluding everyone else and your audience is only inclusive to you and maybe a couple people that know you. But in general, the majority, the masses will not really care about you. So what you got to do is tailor it to the people in the world, the audience. You got to make stuff for them. That's why musical artists write hit songs, or rather most of them don't write their hit songs, but a producer or somebody, songwriter, writes it and then the artist performs it. The hit song is putting that artist on the map for them to have a fan base, so that now when they want to do their own songs and their own thing, they can do that because they already have a following and they have people who know their name. But in the beginning, you can't do that. No one's going to know. No one's going to search you. No one's going to find you. No one's going to care. You basically have to sell out with a hit song. It happens with every artist that gets famous. They've had a hit song, at least one. Now, some are really smart, some of these artists, and they write hit after hit after hit after hit, putting themselves on the map continuously. There are guys out there that knew how to do that, like Billy Joel, and bands like Maroon 5 and Coldplay and the Beatles knew how to do that. There's a lot of bands that knew how to put a hit out there almost every time. And then there are the one-hit wonders. Bottom line is you need that hit. You need that viral video to put you on the map. You need something that is going to relate to other people. So if you're out there and you're an artist, and I see a lot of you guys on Facebook, people aren't interested in you for you, and they're not interested in your creation for your creation, and they're not interested in me at all. When you grow up and you think, oh, I'm a special person, okay, you're special in God's eyes, but in most people's eyes, you're really not. They're too busy thinking that they're special. You're special to your mom, that's about it, because you came out of her womb. If you have a good dad, you're special to him too. If you have brothers and sisters, they most likely hate you. So people love themselves and they love what's a part of them. So if you can make yourself a part of them somehow, and you could appeal to them, and you can make the things that they want, then they'll love you. If you could validate who they are. I try to be a genuine person, and I try not to sell out like that, but I'm going to have to sell out like that, and that's what I'm going to do, because there's no other way to make it. There's no other way to have an audience, because people want to love themselves. So you got to give them. You got to find out who they are, what they want, what they like, what makes them laugh, what makes them tick, and do that for them. When I've had many people offer me promises and promise me the world and promise me record deals and, oh, just sign this and you'll get $500,000 right here, and other guys that were like, we want your songs, but we want to make them our own, or we want to redo your songs, and I didn't go for any of those offers. I was all about authenticity and staying true and expressing myself and being me and wanting to be loved for who I am and accepted for who I am, and not compromising what I stand for and who I am. Now I look back at it and think, hey, I should have just done those things. I should have just taken those deals. In some cases, the guy was shady who was offering it, and the fine print said they owned all the rights to my music from that point on. Gut feelings on some of those made me not accept those kinds of offers, but in other instances, when I look back at it, I'm like, I should have done that. The problems I see with a lot of really good musicians is that they don't have a good song. They don't know that because they think their songs are the greatest thing in the world, but they don't have a good song. They don't have a catchy song. A catchy song is something you hear one time and it's stuck in your head. Okay, maybe twice and it's stuck in your head. If it's not stuck in your head after 2 or 3 times hearing it, then it's not a catchy song. It's not a good song. It's not a hook. It's not a hit. Sorry. A lot of really good musicians don't have a hit song, and they don't even know the difference. They don't know the first thing about writing a good song. I don't even know what I'm talking about because I've never written a hit song. I've written songs that I think could potentially be a hit. They've just never been put out there or marketed or advertised properly or presented properly, but I have full confidence that they could be a hit because they're catchy, and the people that do hear them say, hey, that song's been stuck in my head for a week or 2 weeks or all year. Forget about the integrity part. Forget about expressing yourself and being you and thinking that people are going to love you and relate to you for who you are, because they're not. They just aren't. That's not what people are. That's not what people are made of. That's not what people want. People love themselves. You have to sell yourself out to be one of them and validate who they are. Somehow, some way. I'm going to figure out how to do it, and hopefully you guys are going to help me. I'm sorry if that sounds disingenuous or sounds like I'm not staying true to myself, but you know what? Staying true doesn't pay the bills. Never has, never will. Don't be personally offended by this. Don't get all depressed and down about it. Get the knowledge and figure out how to overcome and how to use it to your advantage. We're going to do it together, guys. We're going to do it together. I'm with you. I'm one of you. I'm just like you. I mean, I made this video for you because this is what you wanted to see. This is what you wanted to know. See what I'm saying?